Green the Vote submits unknown number of signatures in marijuana ballot efforts. Organizers have no idea how many signatures group has after inflated claims. So in Oklahoma City, marijuana supporters submitted an unknown number of petition signatures to the Oklahoma Secretary of State's office on Wednesday afternoon in an effort to get 2 questions on the ballot. The filing comes a day after news broke that Green the Vote had dramatically inflated the number of signatures collected for the 2 states' questions in an effort to increase momentum. Isaac Cavanis of Haskell serves as the president of the Green the Vote, which collected the signatures. He was asked Wednesday how many the organization ultimately had collected. I have no idea. Signatures needed 123,724 signatures in support of each state question by Wednesday's deadline. State question 796 seeks to ask voters to put the right to medical marijuana in the state constitution, 797 doing the same for recreational marijuana. Voters already approved the statutory change to allow for medical marijuana through state question 788 on June 26, but 796 and 797 that requires more signatures. So Oklahoma Secretary of State James Williamson said last month that if a sufficient number of signatures are verified and no protest is filed, it is highly unlikely this it is highly unlikely the 2 state questions would make the November 6th general election. If a protest is filed, making that date will be impossible. But Cavanis said Wednesday, why aren't we talking about possible? So they couldn't keep count. So you're counting on the powers that be to do the counting for you. And they can go ahead and drag their feet on this and then kind of not give you what you want. You know, and this is my first time looking at this, and certainly there's high-level corruption at stake here. If they got the appropriate amount of signatures, it should be on the ballot come November. It's August right now. As of the recording of this, it's August. They should get it on the November ballot. But I'll be honest here, and I'm not trying to come down too hard on the activists involved here, because I'm certainly not trying to marginalize their efforts or point fingers at them, but you kind of got to make sure you do everything in your power to keep count. I mean, that's kind of one of those things. If you're counting on the establishment to count for you, no pun intended there, you're kind of not doing everything in your realm to prevent corruption from taking place. You know what I mean? And I really hate to be the kind of negative Nancy here, but at first look at this, and please, in the chat, if I'm missing something, please correct me, because this is my first time seeing this issue, this is my first time seeing this article, and I'm a human being, just like everybody else. But upon first glance, it looks like, yeah, the state has made it very clear they're going to drag their feet on this and not give this a fair shake. Since they're already forecasting we're not going to get it on the ballot. Well, that's nonsense. You have plenty of time. But the other side of it, too, gee, did you guys do everything in your power to make sure you counted every single signature? Because if you did that, and if you had records, and if you had backups, and if you had the paper, and if you had, hey, this is what we got the signatures, and the story becomes, we got the signatures, why isn't it on the ballot? You got a lot more power in your court then. But if you're saying, I have no idea how many signatures we have, you're setting yourself up for them to be able to punt. You know what I mean? Well, let me see what you guys are saying. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I got something wrong here. That's possible. Garden Gnome agrees here. You've lost control of the process if you don't count. Oklahoma also has completely obscene party ballot access requirements. It's one of the perpetual frustrations in the Green Party attempts to get ballot access. I'd imagine they make it very difficult. Ellett points out duplicate and invalid signatures make the count too hard. Well, and you're setting yourself up for them to make those claims, too. If you're putting it in the establishment's hands and saying, hey, count these because we didn't count them, you're setting yourselves up for them to be able to make those claims. Whether those claims will be true or not, well, we have no way of verifying. I would bet going on ethics alone, I trust Green the Vote a hell of a lot more than I would trust the establishment in Oklahoma. A hell of a lot more. But, you know, if you didn't count your ballots, or excuse me, your signatures, and you're just putting it in their hands, of course they're going to, oh, these are duplicates, oh, these are wrong, these are, you know, you need to cover all of your grounds when you go up against the establishment, and even if you do, there's a good chance they'll stab you in the back, i.e. what happened in California when the nurses were told what they needed to put in a single-payer bill. They followed the instructions and did what they were told, and the powers that be, via Anthony Rendon, stabbed them in the back anyway. So yeah, you know, I'm really sorry to see this, and I'm really sorry for the people in Oklahoma that, you know, did a lot of work and effort into this. But you really got to do everything you can to count them. You really do.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your